What's up, everyone? So I'm at a cabin right now. I've met a lot of interesting people, and one in particular that has stuck out to me. He's been very interesting. He calls himself,
Hi, I'm Storyteller Mike. It's short for Michelangelo.
and what does he do exactly?
I like to sit in front of fireplaces and tell stories. I deal with a lot of fireplaces you would not believe.
So while I enjoy my vacation at the cabin, Storyteller Mike is gonna tell you a story.
I can tell any kind of story, really. I can tell horror, thriller, scary, funny even. Hey, if you don't laugh at my stories, that don't mean I ain't funny. That just means you ain't hip to it, and that's okay. Oh, and I like drinking whiskey while I'm telling my stories. And before. And after. I just like to get fucked up. None of the stories I tell are ever said before, and they'll never be said again. Kind of like that improv comedy stuff that I hear about. I took 13 suggestions from Google of story genres, and I'm gonna randomize it. The genre that came up was science fiction, so that's talking about science that's fake. Would a science, non-fiction, just be science? Alright, let's get into tonight's story. Once upon a time. Just so you know, all stories start with once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was this girl named Julia, and Julia, she went to this very nice college. It's called Stanford, and she studied archaeology, the study of arcs. What she really wanted to do was learn about dinosaurs, and her grandpa owned Jurassic Park. She also has another grandpa. He doesn't own anything. So she calls up her grandpa who owns Jurassic Park and said, "Wait, is this your hologram or is this you?" And it was his hologram. Because it turns out her grandpa went missing. Not only did she not want to study arcs, did she really want to study archaeology, but now she had to be a detective to go find her grandpa in this hologram thing, all while she had finals at Stanford for archaeology. Julia has this cousin, Jack, and so she calls up this cousin. And Julia said, "Hey, grandpa's missing. What's happening?" And Jack said, "What do you think?" Julia's like, "Don't tell me he got eaten by dinosaurs." And Jack said, "Why would you think that?" And then they talked about that for like 30 more minutes. Now Jack and Julia, they like to argue a little bit. Julia and Jack go to Jurassic Park to find their grandpa once and for good. They get to the park, and of course, the gate in the front is just busted open. What was I saying? The Uber dropped them off, let them out. They saw that. Uber sped away. Jack and Cheyenne, Jack and Jill, Jack and Julia and Jack go up to their grandpa's office, and there he is at his desk. They're like, "What the hell, Grandpa? I called you and you didn't answer. It was just your hologram." And her grandpa was like, "Oh, nice to see you two, but that's my do not disturb. So when you call and my hologram answers, that means do not disturb. And so what do? You fly out to this island and you disturb me." And Julia's like, "Grandpa, I have to know, should I study archaeology or should I study dinosaurs? It is like arcs to only go halfway." Grandpa said, "Stop, Julia. By golly, you're gonna finish that archaeology degree. And Jack, you better do something with your life. Who's tough? Who's tough?" And Jack said, "You know what, Grandpa? You got me all wrong. I am doing something with my life. I'm gonna stay here and study dinosaurs." And Julia's like, "But that's what I wanted to do." And Jack said, "You need to finish your archaeology degree, like now, and then you can come out and do dinosaurs with me." And then Julia and Jack look back at their grandpa. They look at each other like, "Grandpa, is that your hologram?" And it turns out it was his hologram the whole time. The end. That's the best goddamn story I ever did talk about and make up and say. His grandpa wasn't real, and the fireplace wasn't even on the whole time because it was hot and my hair might catch on fire. This is my third cup. Cheers and good night.
So how was it? Was it a good story or a show, at least? I feel like he changes how he talks in the middle of the story. Maybe that's the alcohol. We'll see next time.
next. I don't got cousins, but I see it on TV.